I invite you to get comfortable as you welcome yourself in to your meditation practice. Just really give yourself a chance to arrive. You can close your eyes, you can keep them open. You can breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. You can breathe in and out through the mouth. You do whatever feels comfortable for you in this moment. You can sit up nice and tall. You can stretch out. There's enough distraction with what goes on in our head that we don't need to distract ourselves with all of the expectations of how we think this practice is supposed to look. So I really encourage each of us to become comfortable in the spot that you've chosen. And as you turn your attention to your breath, just let it kind of signal how you are today. Let it communicate something to you about how you feel in this moment. Maybe things are quiet and peaceful as that breath comes in and out. Maybe there's a lot of movement, a lot of activity. Maybe it's somewhere in between. None of them are right or wrong, they just are. And let the breath give you a glimpse into that, the state of how things are in this moment. The inspiration for our practice comes from the Yoga Sutras. We're in chapter 3, we're in the second verse of chapter 3 when he talks about the practice of meditation. And the Sanskrit word for that is dhyana. And I thought it was really interesting as I was just looking at all the different translations of how this sutra is represented. And one word that just kept coming up, no matter who it was that I looked at their translation, and that was the word flow. And so before we really settle into what the sutra has to teach us, just turn your attention to that flow of breath. See if now you can begin to control it. Just that gentle flow in and that gentle flow out. Finding a rhythm that feels good. Watching how the inhale flows right into the exhale. And how as you empty out and the exhale goes, it flows right into that next breath in. And just really notice the beauty of that system within you. It's not this involuntary thing that the body just does. It is this beautiful flow of energy coming in and going out. I think it's interesting that in our contemporary times, we hear a lot about this idea of flow, being in flow state, of working within the flow of things. If you're on a team, you really want your team to be in flow together. And I have to kind of smile as I think about it because 2,500 years ago, Patanjali was talking about the same thing. And I have a feeling that the teachers before him are talking about it as well. Flow. All the translations that I had that talked about this one sutra and as it relates to meditation said that this practice is a continuous flow consciously toward one point of focus. That's it. It's a continuous flow, and it's consciously toward one point of focus. That's why we say that meditation is this practice of just full awareness. We've chosen something to focus on, and we're giving all the effort, all the energy, all the levels of consciousness that we can tap into. We are focusing them all there. And then what happens is our mind starts to feel a little left out. And it wants to remind us of the list that we need to do, or the person that we're upset with, or how tired we are. And on, and so it goes. But what Patanjali was teaching us is that this flow state is not only possible, it is truly the impact you will feel from a consistent practice. consciously directing all of your energy, all of your attention, all of your effort toward one thing. And then feeling this beautiful flow, one breath at a time. Some translations go on to say that it's an unbroken flow. And when I saw that word the first few times, I used to think how disappointing that was. Does it mean that when my mind starts to wander, that I've broken the flow and I have failed at meditation today? But the more that I've sat with it and the deeper I've studied it, what I think it means is that we notice when there's an attempt at breaking it, and we let that attempt go. And we stay right here. So having these thoughts come up does not mean that we've broken the flow and that we have, as our society would deem it, failed at meditation. But rather, through this conscious effort, through this full awareness, we know what the mind is going to try to do. We know what the emotions might try to do. We know what all these imprints on our brain from our past, from our experiences will try to do. And we're ready for it. We're ready to notice it, and we're ready to let it go. That's the continuous, unbroken flow that he was talking about. I think that's why so many of the different spiritual teachings tell us use the breath as the point of focus. If you want to feel this unbroken flow, use the breath as your tool to do it. Feel the inhale moving into the exhale. Feel that exhale ushering you into the inhale. And we know that there is an unbroken flow because it's what's keeping us alive. So what if we could really follow this flow of breath into what this practice has to offer us? Consciously gathering all of our effort to one point of focus, the breath. And so then I think what we'll realize as we practice this together in just a moment is that this flow state that contemporary society keeps talking about, we've all had access to it since the moment we took that first breath. It's not something we have to learn. It's not something we have to go out and get. It's been there waiting for us all along. That is meditation. So let's practice this together. I'm going to lead us through just a simple breath work, a breath meditation, and then I'll grow quiet. And what I would encourage us each to do is to let the breath continue to flow and watch it. And then watch when the mind tries to become seen and heard again. See it for what it is. Recognize it. But don't stop breathing. And don't stop watching the breath. Consciously maintain this unbroken, beautiful flow. So however you are, seated, stretched out, leaning, whatever it looks like for you, just make sure that you can really feel the expansiveness as the ribs begin to move. Try to relax a bit through your jaw and through your shoulders, across your heart. And let's take a slow, deep breath in. And then flow right into that breath out. Flowing into the breath in. And flow into the exhale. Flowing in. Flowing out. Flowing in. Flowing out. One more together, flowing in. Flowing out. Keep the flow going. keep following it. Feel the nourishment of your physical body as you do it, and feel the steadiness of this conscious, unbroken flow. Following the breath, but understanding we're even going beyond the breath. We're flowing into consciousness, finding levels that we have so desired to touch, to see, to live with and from. So flowing in, flowing out, continuing here in the stillness. Just take a couple more breaths here on your own. Just letting the breath flow into each other. And just notice the physical impact of that practice. Maybe you feel the blood flowing through your body. Maybe you feel this almost like electric charge within your cells. For me, I felt the coolness of that inhale. No matter how hot it is outside, no matter how busy I've been, it just felt cool and refreshing. And so the beautiful thing about this flow state that the sutras teach us about is that it's not just for here and now. We're building up the capacity here in our practice to go out there and live it. For those of you that go to work tomorrow, imagine if you went to work from this state. For those of you that have things to do within your family, within your home, imagine how things could work within your day if you approached it this way. Finding that beautiful flow, in breath, out breath. Charging your cells, invigorating your body, clearing your mind, finding this unbroken, beautiful flow as you consciously bring all of your effort to one point of focus. It doesn't mean you have to sit and just look at the breath all day long. But you begin to build this capacity within you as you start to move through your responsibilities and you do the things that you are scheduled and needed to do. Imagine approaching it all like this. Staying as long as you can in this state of flow, unbroken. But then when you notice that the thoughts are coming in and they're staying a little longer and you can't quite let them go, you return to your practice. You find that unbroken connection, and then you rise up and you go out and live it again. Flow. It truly is the essence of meditation. Let's keep it with us in these moments to come, and let's carry it with us in the days to follow. Namaste.